Going into the 2020 NBA season, we did not expect so many events, so many tragic stories to affect the excitement that we had before the season even started. The point that I'm trying to make so far is that basically the year of 2020 has not been a good one for everybody. In February, we lost one of the most iconic basketball icons of all time, Kobe Bryant, and now we are losing the NBA season as a whole as it is now being suspended due to the coronavirus and COVID-19 infection. But this video is not going to be about the bad that's happening. We are going to be looking towards the future and what could have happened. And by reading the title, you guys know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. The team that I believe that would have won the championship if everything went smoothly and went exactly as planned. In my personal opinion, I believe the Los Angeles Lakers would have won the 2020 NBA championship, and as of right now, I still believe they will. After the news and report that Adam Silver said, he basically said that the NBA season is not over and they should resume after everything is fixed. He gave us the prediction that it will be at least 30 days, could be more, but around that time is when the NBA will resume. And because the NBA will resume, it'll go back to normal except for the fact that the schedule will be pushed back and potentially the NBA Finals could go all the way to June. The point is, from what it looks like, the NBA is not going away and we just have to wait a little bit before everything goes back to normal. And for my upcoming videos, I'm going to be making a bunch of videos on my prediction of what's going to happen next. As I make this video, the Los Angeles Lakers are first in the Western Conference with the record of 49-14. They have the second best record in the NBA as a whole behind the Milwaukee Bucks, with their record being 53-12, and I believe that the Lakers actually have a shot on getting that first seed in the whole NBA. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that the Lakers are a very good team, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 3 reasons why I believe they're the clear-cut winners and have what it takes. I'm calling it now, the 2020 NBA champions, the LA Lakers. So yeah, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of ezBUCKETz. If you love basketball, you are in the right place, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss any of my upcoming videos just like this. The first reason that I believe the Los Angeles Lakers have a good shot at winning is actually because of this coronavirus outbreak. The rest that the Los Angeles Lakers will be getting off this month of basketball is going to be very important to the veterans and also the stars of the team. We all know that right now LeBron James has been playing 35 minutes a game, putting up one of the best numbers of his career. But we also know that he's been dealing with a groin injury for a while now, which actually caused him to miss a lot of his season last year, making the Lakers not even making the playoffs. The point is, with the Lakers already having such a great season, they've already clinched a playoff spot and are easily going to be the first place standings in the Western Conference. LeBron James could take this time off and take it easy to not worry much, but just focusing on healing his body. We all know that an NBA championship caliber team needs to be healthy and be able to last a long playoff run, and right now, a well-needed rest and time off is exactly what their star player needs, LeBron James. But LeBron James is not the only person on the injury list for the Los Angeles Lakers. The other superstar, Anthony Davis, is also dealing with a couple of injuries. There's some wrist injuries, but most importantly, every single game, he's getting the probable or questionable tag because of his shoulder and also his back. We all know about Anthony Davis's long injury history, so a well-needed rest right now could definitely heal those injuries, and by the time the NBA resumes, he could be fully healthy. I know it sounds pretty bad that I'm using the coronavirus as an excuse or a reason why it's going to help and be an advantage to NBA players, but at the end of the day, anybody and everybody needs a rest, whether or how they get it. And after a great start to the first half of the season for the Lakers, this is kind of like a long and extended All-Star break. So that is my first reason. My second reason comes with the depth of the Los Angeles Lakers roster. A good and strong NBA team needs depth, meaning players that can take on a role and be efficient and effective when playing it. When talking about the most recent NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors, they were such a good team because of the depth that they carried. They had players like Serge Ibaka, Norman Powell, and Fred VanVleet coming off the bench, playing starter minutes when given the opportunity, but also executing it at the best time. People always say that the Los Angeles Lakers are so good because of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Don't get me wrong, they are good with those two players, but you cannot leave out the players doing their role and being effective on what's making them actually good. And why the Lakers are so good is because of the consistency they're getting from every single player on that roster. Let me give you an example of one player. Javale Mcgee is a player on the Los Angeles Lakers. He starts at the center position, but sometimes doesn't even play more than 20 minutes a game. He knows his role as to be a shot blocker, rim protector, and knows not to do anything else than that, because that is his role, and he's going to do whatever he can to perfect it. Another example is Dwight Howard, has the exact same role as Javale Mcgee. The thing is, he understands that to win on a championship caliber team, you need to play a role, and if that's the role that the coaches and the other players think is best for you, you gotta do whatever you can to be perfect at that. In my personal opinion, Dwight Howard is a starting center on any other NBA team, but with the Lakers, he definitely lowered his pride and is playing a great sense of role basketball. And I love it, and I need to see more of that from every other player in the NBA. Another player that I can give you an easy example of is Kuzma, guys. We all know that last year, Kuzma was a starting power forward for the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging about 20 points a game, and now he's not even getting plus 20 minutes a game sometimes, but knows that when he gets minutes on the floor, his job is to score the basketball, whatever it takes. What I'm trying to say about the Lakers is their depth is phenomenal. They have players with different roles to do different things when given the minutes and given the time. If they need a bucket, you put in Kuzma. If they need a defensive stopper, you put in Howard. You put in Mcgee. They have the depth to do it all. The Lakers really built a great team around LeBron James. Getting a superstar of Anthony Davis really makes them a versatile defense and offensive team. And the fact that most players on that roster aren't even getting paid a lot really shows the fact that these guys really want a championship and will do whatever they can to get it. But I can't talk about the depth of the Los Angeles Lakers without the players that have been stepping up. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Alex Caruso, and Avery Bradley, a very, very underrated backcourt in the NBA. These guys come off the bench. Avery Bradley starts the game, but the point is, the minutes they're given on the court, they do exactly what they have to do. KCP has shown improvement in scoring the basketball and playing great on-ball defense, while Avery Bradley has always been a great three-point shooter, mid-range shooter, and a great on-ball defender. The Lakers just have it all. But talking about one of our favorite players in the NBA as a whole, Alex Caruso, this guy can do everything. There have been reports that Anthony Davis, LeBron James, really and highly praises Alex Caruso on how his versatility and how he's able to do many things on the ball court. He can pass, he has great basketball IQ, has great defensive awareness, and that's what every NBA team needs, a player that can do all the things at once. The Lakers are just lucky to have these kind of players, and they were really smart of how they built their team. The depth of the Lakers is phenomenal. I love it. But what I also like about the Lakers is that they're never done trying to make their roster better. So far, they've made 2 free agent signings of Dion Waiters and Markieff Morris because they're always trying to find a room of errors to fix and fill. Great championship team doesn't give up and settle for a roster. Great NBA teams always try to excel the roster and make it better. And if the Lakers are going to have a long playoff run and all of these players can play consistently and do well at their role, they're going to win the 2020 NBA championship for sure. So that wraps up my second reason on why I believe so. But before I get into the third reason, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of this video. This video is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticket app that finds the best deals from hundreds of sellers, separates the good ones from the bad, and even shows you the viewpoint from your seat. Use my code ezBUCKETz off this app to get $20 off your purchase. SeatGeek, the best way to buy tickets. Moving over to the third and final reason is simple, and that is because of LeBron James, the King himself. We all know that when LeBron James plays in the NBA playoffs, he's a totally different person. We can see it in the numbers he's producing. His numbers literally increased by a 25% ratio, and LeBron just has the mindset to not want to lose. What LeBron brings to the table is his veteran leadership, his experience in the NBA Finals, and if you have a player who's been to the Finals for 9 straight years, I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing pretty well. Another thing that I want to point out is, in a way, LeBron James has something to prove to the LA fans. The first reason being, last year they did not make the playoffs, so this year LeBron wants to take LA to the playoffs and also show how good he is at leading a team in the playoffs. Another thing that's definitely a chip on LeBron James' shoulders is, after the death of Kobe Bryant, LeBron's gonna wanna literally win it all just to honor Kobe and for LA. LeBron is one of those players that he has goals and has great intentions, and when his mind is set on something, he will get it done. And this year, with LeBron actually having a great cast around him, I actually believe he could do so. But LeBron does have a couple challenges. For one, I believe the LA Clippers are going to make it to the conference finals, and that conference final matchup of the Lakers vs Clippers is going to be one of the greatest conference final matches we're ever going to ever see. And of course, stopping Giannis, former MVP, is also going to be a great series, so there are definitely obstacles in the way for LeBron. But an NBA championship is not easy, and if you want something badly, you got to do whatever it takes to get it. And with the noise and impact Los Angeles Lakers are making this year after beating the Los Angeles Clippers and Bucks on a back-to-back set, they're claiming that championship now and saying that this is their season. So just to summarize all three reasons on why I believe the Los Angeles Lakers will win the 2020 NBA championship. Number one, they get plenty of rest. Number two, their roster and depth chart is insane. And number three, because they're led by the greatest player in the world. But I want to know what you guys think. Who do you think will win the 2020 NBA championship? Do you think it's the Lakers, the Clippers, the Bucks, or even the Toronto Raptors can make a back-to-back push? But that wraps up my video for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that thumbs up button, guys. And also leave your opinions down in the comment section down below. Because there's no basketball for the next month or so, I want any opportunity I can to talk to anybody about basketball. Because basketball is our passion, guys. Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on ezBUCKETz. Woo!
Ay, look at that boy, huh? Cooking up joints, like, run at the school, like, you already know, never got help, so did it myself, doing so well, I bet you can't tell that I've been running, like, this my dance.